Hello, folks. My name is Qirn. I am joined by Cinaeth. How's it going, Cinaeth?
How is it going, guys and gals and everyone in here? How is everyone doing in chat today? Are you excited? Because I'm excited.
This is Krelbel and Walter, who I know pretty well, and I've seen their games, but I know nothing about Overworld Glitches. So, Cinaeth, would you mind explaining to us what is going on? And by us, I mean me.
Yeah, so just to kind of give everyone a quick overview of what's happening, we're going to be doing a lot of things that happen in the overworld, which means the light world, the dark world, basically the big versions of the map that you run around to get to different dungeons. So we're going to be doing a lot of clips and tricks, jumping up and down mountains. And then when we get inside of dungeons, we're actually going to have to do the dungeons more logically. There's not going to be a lot of tricks. There might be some minor glitches that are allowed, but other than that.
Ooh, minor glitches. Oh, you mean like logically? Minor glitches in logic.
Right, exactly.
Oh, that's cool. I know nothing of this world other than I want to know more.
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot to see as we go through the game here. It looks like both players are going to start in Link's house and run around this way.
I thought Krelbel did a chest turn, but his sprite, I think, is just wild.
And so both players are going down here. Have you seen Lake Hylia?
You mean, have I seen the glitch?
Mm-hmm.
I actually did witness Walter and Chex practicing it before the race, so I have seen it.
And it looks like Krelbel is going to start clipping up here. So this is a boots clip that is happening right now. Followed by a fake flipper.
Oh, so it not going for the island, which we've seen was just a piece of heart.
Oh, and we got some gloves over in Sarashla's closet.
That is really cool looking. I gotta say, that fake flipper from the wrong side of the river to get to the hobo very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And like really quickly executed by Krelbel. I don't know how hard that is, like to clip into the wall and do that screen transition at the right moment, but that was really fast.
If you've ever done a fake flipper down at the bottom of Lake Hylia by Moldarm Cave, that is very similar to the one that you saw for Hobo.
And then just add in a bit of boots clipping.
Yeah, add in boots clipping beforehand, exactly.
Okay, Walter with the fire rod in the back of escape.
Have we seen a map check yet? I don't think either of our runners have done a map check quite yet.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen that.
Nice green liquid. May come in handy later with that fire rod if fire rod ends up being the only, I guess, power item until they start upgrading their swords.
Yeah, well, oh, now a bow, so we have two weapons.
Yeah, that bow's going to come in a lot more handy than the fire rod. And there's a map check. I saw a pendant down on desert and 2 crystals.
Yeah, it looks like red crystal eastern.
Now, a funny thing with red crystals in Overworld Glitches, we actually don't care what color the crystals are for Overworld Glitches.
Is that because when the Pyramid Fairy would, like, when you can access the Pyramid Fairy, then you can get there with Overworld Glitches?
Oh no, Aga required seed. I am sorry.
Oh, I missed it. What was it?
It's a mirror.
And we can't overworld our glitch our way into that location?
Not easily. Yeah, the lumberjack tree is not an easy one to get into.
So what would be required in order to get into the lumberjack tree?
I think it's outside of the race format that we're currently running. So I don't want to try to confuse anyone with it.
Oh, sure. Okay, yeah. Oh, tree warp. Okay, yes, I've heard of tree warp. Yeah. Which, you know, I was pretty integral in Tree Warp. I'm not sure if you know this, but I'm the person
really?
who found out that you could take chickens across different screen transitions. So, you know.
Looks like both players are going to be climbing the mountain really quick. I don't know if you got to you missed that on the first screen on the left-hand side there.
I was too busy talking about myself, but yeah, it looks like I get to see Walter do it.
So Walter's doing a method that I'm actually not familiar with, but that looks this is a different DMA strat.
So it looked to me like he was juking the camera, and so the position of the camera must be important for which entrance he goes into.
Yeah, so it's not even really a position of the camera. I mean, it is and it's not. It's if you know the screen, you can do it right from where he was standing. But if you need to juke the camera to kind of get more familiar with what's happening, then you can juke the camera in those kind of screen wraps to help you out.
That was a really cool pause buffer there from krelbel. I don't know if he was lining up or he was just trying to figure out the boulder dodging.
Yeah, krelbel was doing a Death Mountain descent, and that automatically set him up and armed him for the Houlihan glitch, which I'm sure most people are familiar with. But yeah, I don't know if he meant to go into Graveyard Ledge first, or if he meant to auto walk past it and just go right to Houlihan. Oh, I didn't know that, Orange. If you hardlock if you do not fix your camera on classic DMA. There's like how many DMA tricks now? There's so many.
DMA, is that Death Mountain Ascent?
Yes.
That crazy glitch that I saw from Walter but totally missed from krelbel? Because I was bragging about chickens.
And it looks like Walter has gone into Hera. This is definitely something that is very doable with 4 hearts and fighter sword. As someone who practices all dungeons restricted major glitches, this is kind of what you're forced to do. But trust me, it's not fun.
Yeah, very very reminiscent of a NMG fight, or yeah, NMG Tower of Hera, which is the worst split in the vanilla game for a reason.
Yeah, let's see if Walther has a better luck than I did on Moldorm when I did my race earlier this week.
Heart and a half, so he can take 1 hit from Moldorm. With Fighter Sword, he's got to get in, what is it, 6 slashes? I always think it's 8, but I think it's actually 6. We're going to find out. No, it is 8.
Yep, now Moldorm's running fast, and oh, quarter heart left. Doesn't have the protection of the pots. Gonna have to reset and refight Moldorm. If he takes a hit on this next fight, that's gonna have to climb the tower all over again.
That would suck. Don't fail, Walter.
And we got a blinds hut check over on krelbel's screen, doing the Kakariko loop.
Oh, nice, nice dash there from Walter. He just barely started the dash in time to get the iframes, or not the iframes, but the frame roll.
Yeah, that was a really nice play, really clutch play actually by Walther on that side. So I'm wondering, what do you think as far as where do you think our players are going now? We have Cackwell going to get checked right now.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that Walter has not gone to Kakariko, apparently. Is this pretty common?
Yeah, I can't disagree with this play. Doing a full check on Death Mountain, or doing as many checks as you can. because you can get some money ahead of time before you go down and do your Houlihan if needed. You can. There's a sword upgrade right there sitting inside Spectacle Rock, so that's a huge thing. And then save and quit off the mountain and go right down to Cack Village.
Well, I don't know much about Overworld glitches, but I know that I have seen people do some glitches early from Maze Race to Desert. So I don't know how difficult that is, but I guess that's where my knowing nothing about how you route the early game, that is one thing that I imagine might happen on krelbel's side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the biggest thing that our players are looking for in order to go into Kakariko Village is a fire source, which they have, a damage upgrade, which now Walther has. So yeah, it's just a matter of knowing when do you want to go do Kakariko. And the reason that you want a fire source for Kakariko is so that you can clip down to Desert and just finish out Desert, or go look for the couple of items that you might need. And hopefully one item is not fire locked, because if it is and you don't have fire, then you have to re-dip Desert just to get that one item or orphan it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially when that is in logic, but the route there, you know, to get to Desert with an Overworld glitch is probably just as slow as if you had to run there the ordinary way.
Yeah, and Orange has the right commentary in chat here. Glove for checkerboard would be really nice. A fire for Lamo kill to make Lamo really fast, and a bottle for Sick Kid. So we have 3 of those checkboxes all checked off on both players' sides. Oh, Moon Pearl in the checkerboard cave. So I'm a little sad that Moon Pearl came that early, but you know, it is what it is. Having a late Moon Pearl or a Dark World Moon Pearl is always more entertaining.
Oh, tell me about it. You're preaching to the choir. The Moon Pearl alone is Dark World access. Wow, that's crazy. And a hookshot there on the Desert Ledge.
Yeah, because as soon as they have Moon Pearl, all they have to do is go up to Mountain and then Death Mountain Descent from the Dark World, and then they have full access to the whole Dark World that way.
Wow, that is insane. That is so cool. But you couldn't do that as a bunny, though, right? Because you would need to boots clip.
Well, yes and no. There's something you can do as a bunny. It's not in logic. It's called the blue YBA. Where you get a blue bottle and you screen transition as a bunny, and it gives you a fake flute.
Yep, and then that activates Super Bunny.
Mm-hmm. I believe there are other ways to get off the mountain without doing that are in logic as a bunny, but they're a lot more painful if I've been told correctly.
Yeah, that portal at the top of the Death Mountain being a unique one in that it doesn't have a rock that you need to lift up, so it's or protected by hammer pigs, so its requirements are very different.
Yeah, and I mean, if you knew the clip, there's also clips to get over to it with a glove to get to the swamp portal, and then bomb your way back out of the swamp portal if you don't have hammer.
Oh, interesting.
But our players, I don't think are going to be using that. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Death Mountain descents.
Krelbel clipping out of Desert into Cave 45. Whoa, that is cool.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd never otherwise think about those two locations being adjacent to each other. Like, that's not my mental map, is above the Bombos tablet is Cave 45.
Mm-hmm. And Kippy making a good point that you have access to Super Bunny Cave, which is kind of where Walther's heading right now. Going to go check Paradox first.
And so he would access that Super Bunny Cave by going in the portal and then using the same Overworld glitch used to get to the east side of the mountain in the Dark World.
I'm not sure how you do it as a bunny, to be completely honest.
Oh, I mean, well, he has the Moon Pearl.
Oh my word. Silver's this early in the game? Free seed. So all the bosses just became really easy because you can basically one-shot every boss, with exception of a couple that either don't get hit by arrows or take more than one arrow to kill.
Oh, and a flute, as well as a Quake medallion here in Paradox Cave.
Yeah, our first medallion is going to be super helpful. We don't know what's on Misery Mire yet. That Misery Mire is the only dungeon that hard requires a medallion. Even though Turtle Rock does have a medallion on it, you actually don't need a medallion to enter it.
Oh yeah, Super Malmo World in chat pointing out that Walter, because he hasn't done CAC yet, he can have a super efficient route to activate the flute and then do those checks and get his hammer and stuff there.
Yeah, and we're not looking for our runners to show off a ton of teleports and tricks. You know, having flute definitely makes the seed a whole lot faster. And I'm seeing that krelbel got hammer over on his side. I actually didn't see exactly where that was.
Walt's about to pick that up in the well here, I believe. It looks like we got Pendant, Swamp, and Turtle Rock, which I guess that means Green Pendant Desert.
Honestly, I'm not a fan of those two being pendants, and that's because both of those dungeons have a lot of checks in them. I would prefer Misery Mire because there's only 2 checks in there, and there's probably another dungeon I could think of that doesn't have a lot.
Yeah, where when you're talking about like what the decision whether or not to dip a pendant dungeon.
Yep. Yeah, it's really going to come down to that's the thing. Aga has mirror on it. And mirror is required for Swamp. So how much are we going to have to go into Aga just to get the Swamp?
So a question I'm interested in is how... I know that, for instance, the mirror is useful for getting into Ice Palace without the Titan's mids, but how useful is the mirror, can the mirror be in unlocking logical overworld glitch stuff? Like, could it be very probable that the mirror is useful for things other than Swamp in the logic?
In the logic, maybe. There are a couple of tricks that you can do with the mirror, but there are backups to those tricks that don't require a mirror. I guess it's going to depend on how familiar our runners are with doing those tricks. So for example, say we don't find the mitts upgrade to get into Ice Palace, or we don't find... I believe you would actually still need flippers for this. Yeah, you need flippers, but not the mitts. You can get into Ice Palace without a mirror and without the mitt upgrade as long as you have flippers.
Right, yeah. That's the one overworld glitch I do know.
So it's really going to depend on, how familiar... And Laser Bridge is another one. Laser Bridge, there's a teleport you can do with the mirror, but it has a backup that also is without mirror.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, and Super Malmo World saying we might need to pay attention to 5-6 crystals. Because, yeah, I guess that's a mirror bonk to get you into Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, that's true, too, yeah. The only way to get into Pyramid Fairy is with a mirror.
Or with the 5-6 crystals. The normal way. Which we do have. Like, we do have the overworld access to bring the bomb. Like, we got that hammer, so we could bring the bomb there if you got the 5-6 crystals, which are Skullwoods, we can do, and Eastern Palace, which, oh, hey, we also can do, so...
In Orange in chat listing the hardlock locations for mirror. So we have the Northwest Dark World access, Mimic Cave, and Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, okay. So that's actually not a lot of like absolutely required, mirror absolutely required to do. Especially, I think that's probably less than in non-overworld glitches because of mirror required locations like K45 and the island.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can get up the island without mirror pretty easily.
So that makes it a very volatile decision. Do you go to Aga and get that mirror to then go to Swamp? I imagine that the runners are going to leave that decision for much later.
Yeah, I think they're gonna abandon Swamp for as long as they can, which would be a smart play to do here, and focus on their crystals as much as they can.
ABC, always be clearing crystal dungeons, or ABCCD, I guess.
Yeah, because the main goal here is to get into not GT, but to get to the Ganon fight, and you can't even hurt Ganon without having all 7 crystals.
I gotta say, I am really impressed with how fast I'm noticing krelbel set up a lot of these, I don't know if you call them boots clips, but that's what it looks like to me, into the corners. Yeah, it's so fast. Like, it looks really seamless, like they practiced this a lot.
Yeah, I mean, krelbel's definitely bringing the A game when it comes to doing these boot clips really quickly. I mean, just as a comparison, krelbel was able to get the race game really fast by doing a boots clip, versus Walther, who actually had to go completely through the race game in order to get that race item.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to line up on the correct pixel here, so probably conferring with Chex about where am I supposed to be, what's the reference.
And I mean, we do have a document for those of you who might be less familiar with this kind of... Oh, looks like Walther may have messed up the desert warp, or clip. I shouldn't call it a warp, it's a clip. He accidentally screen transitioned over to Eastern, and that's bad news bears.
Yeah, it looked like he was holding diagonal down left to me, so I'm not sure if that's because of invisible terrain that was forcing him there, or that was just he went too far left. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he went too far left. You can go straight down as soon as you clip onto that area.
Yeah, I was like, wow, oh no, he was. Maybe he really was trying to get to Eastern quickly, and he just happened to be in the top of the wall instead of where he was supposed to have been.
That would be a clip that I wouldn't be familiar with. And I'm familiar with a bunch of clips.
It's kind of interesting that the screen, I never would have thought that the screen would wrap around from the left side of the map to the right like that.
Yeah, so there's an image that I could show you later. It has the entire overworld and exactly where everything is on the map. And then there's another one that has the entire, what's called the underworld, which is what you're more concerned with if you're doing no logic, and how to wrap from one place to the other or get from one place to the other. It's definitely something that you have to have a lot of practice with, though, because if you do it just the wrong way, you start infinitely wrapping, or you go into what's called a VRAM mode. But again, these are all like super glitchy modes that you probably won't see in these racers.
So Walther here in the first red crystal, gonna be able to finish off Eastern Palace as long as he can do these dark rooms. I have faith. krelbel with a fighter sword on blind here pretty soon. Of course, the grade of sword doesn't matter in terms of the speed of the fight itself. It's going to take the same number of hits, but there is a different hitbox with the fighter sword, and so sometimes that can throw folks off. But look at that! Look at how many hearts he's had, though. And
yeah, they got plenty of life. The other thing to kind of note here is actually this is fully unlogic for Walther. You don't need the lamp in order to do this. I think every room has a torch in it. As long as you know where the torch is, you can light up the whole thing. And I mean, it's very easy to get through this with a fire rod.
I think if this is the same as advanced logic in other modes, that actually the vanilla big key chest is not in logic because there aren't lamps in these dark rooms, but the back of Eastern is.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, you're going to pick up this chest while you're here because you don't want to skip something like this.
Right, and not to mention you could have to... I haven't been paying attention to where the big key was, but this might be a vanilla big key. Nope, it's just an item. Worth checking.
Well, we got to remember those 10 arrows are out of logic.
Not allowed to use them. Banned.
Yeah. Or if you do use them, you wouldn't have been able to finish Armos without them. So doesn't that make Armos out of logic?
And Orange, I completely agree with you that dark rooms normally would not be in logic. I'm just saying that specific room that Walther just went through technically is in logic because of the key being in the right place and having fire rod.
Yeah, it's important to know in advanced logic which rooms have lamps in them, even if we would never normally use them, just so you can determine, okay, is this truly out of logic, or, you know, am I supposed to be able to do this with fire rod?
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, if no dark rooms are in logic unless you have lamp, that could also be the case.
Oh, if that's the setting for this tournament.
The fire rod stuff is still in logic according to Orange.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it is what we were just describing. You need the torch, or the torch in the room.
You just need a fire source, yeah.
And Walter almost knights down as krelbel blind down.
Yeah, 2 bosses going down at the same time. Blind on one side and Armos Knights on the other.
Walter having to think about where to go. Oh, wait, was that a rod?
I believe that was arrows on the bumper ledge.
Oh, okay. I just saw something straight and vertical.
Yeah, I mean, rods, arrows.
Looks like maybe a little bit of convergence here if Walt is going to the Skull Woods area too. Interesting choice. Like, it could be Walter wants to do these 2 red crystals now. I mean, there's items here, it's crystals, you have to do it anyway. But then check the super bomb and maybe eliminate one of the mirror locked locations.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he didn't have the red crystal information until just now, so that was probably not the motivation behind him going to Skullwood.
I guess the nice thing is, I mean, oh man, I actually need to know this. Normally in Randomizer, if you're not using Key Sanity and you have regular Link to the Past music on, you can identify which dungeons are crystal dungeons and which dungeons are pendant dungeons by the music. I don't know if that's still the truth in Overworld Glitches. I know it changes in Key Sanity.
Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't be true in Overworld Glitches.
But if you're using an MSU, then all bets are off and you have no idea what dungeons are what.
I thought that your MSU would still, like, you could have different tracks for Pendant and Crystal music, and then you could still tell based off your MSU. I could be wrong.
I think it depends on the MSU, because some of them are extended, which allow you to have a different music file for every dungeon.
Yeah. That makes sense to me, because it's probably just a hook. Like, okay, here's the hook to playing this music cue or whatever.
Mm-hmm. We got half magic Mothula. Let's see if we can get this fight down fairly quickly.
Oh, now we're on fire.
Ran out of magic.
I thought they had a green potion. Yeah, they do, but they're gonna go for hammer strats here. Nice.
Gets it. And we're gonna have another Mothula fight. These runners are kind of chasing each other in here. The downside here is Walther does not have half magic, so this is going to be I think a green potion fight, considering he does have green potion. Pretty sure he hasn't used it yet.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, with Walter if he just started with Master Sword and then used Hammer, just so that he wouldn't have to use the green potion and watch the cutscene, because his Hammer fight's pretty good.
And right you are, going right to Hammer.
Yeah, but Mothula giving him some terrible RNG here, staying on the top. That's when you wish you had transitioned to Fire Rod and just used that magic.
Mm-hmm.
I guess another motivation for keeping this potion here, oh my goodness, Walter, is, maybe you want a bottle glitch. Never mind, he has bow.
Yeah, he has bow, and I mean, he might want to use it for a Trinex fight later, if you need to go into Trinex. Again, Trinex is not required, it's a pendant, but you never know.
Nice fight there from Walter. Even though you got a little bit bullied by, I think, mostly the RNG there.
Yeah.
He was playing it pretty aggressive, but you kind of have to do that when you have the hammer, and he demonstrated that it was fine. He could be aggressive and still finish the fight.
And he's going back in to check the chest at the bottom here, the bridge chest, because he's realizing that there's another item in this dungeon.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to death warp out. I mean, he's not setting it up for one.
Okay, just a piece of heart.
Super Melmo World in chat. Look at this hot 30-minute South Shore. Yeah, I guess there really isn't an overworld glitch that helps you get here any faster than you could in vanilla, but still, it's pretty fast, especially with boots. You just run down here and check what's in these 5 locations. But it turns out it's nothing.
The thing to think about when you're coming down to South Shore is, do I have Zora money? And that's, I think, why we're playing this late, is because we're just at a point where we do have Zora money.
Oh, yeah.
So it's routing in Zora, routing in Waterfall, routing in Ice Cave, all in the same kind of check. Ooh, there's the half magic. I'm betting Walther wishes they had that a little earlier before fighting Mothula.
Yeah, that would have definitely sped up the fight, especially with the RNG he got. Man, Krelbel's
Malmo commenting on the 1-hour uncle that we're working on right now.
Oh my goodness.
Especially since we know Mirror is behind Aga. I don't know that we're going to be seeing Uncle anytime soon, if at all.
You mean because they may want to wait to check front of escape with a potential Aga check if Mirror is required?
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me, because you check everything else you can, especially the crystals and the dense overworld locations on the way. And then if you're still missing items, you go into escape hoping to get the items there. And if you're still missing items, okay, fine, I'll go to Aga, get that mirror.
Right. Yeah, and I mean it kind of lines up the way it works out. I think that was a rod on the ledge.
Yeah, that was the ice rod. So with no flippers, I was going to ask, is there an overworld glitch? I mean, I know that you could use minor glitches here, but is there an overworld glitch that's relevant?
There is, but it looks like Krelbel is actually going to go talk to Zora first. So with water walking on, you can clip into one of the corners here. He's going to ignore that 300, and I don't blame him, because now he's going to do exactly what I was just about to explain. He's going to come down here to the ledge, and he's going to clip in on the corner and jump up onto the island here.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because if he had picked up that 300... Oh, no!
Yep. Now he's stuck.
Dude, that is intense.
Yeah, so it's always a good idea to clear out the Zoras beforehand. Oh, and he recovers, though.
That was super cool. Yeah, you're under a lot of pressure there to get that clip. Yeah, because the way that the boots walk works, for folks who don't know, the game always ejects you back onto land, or it ejects you back onto the last place that you were standing. And so this is why fake flippers can sometimes do weird behavior that might soft lock you. Not in the randomizer typically, but in the vanilla game it can soft lock you. So when you're doing a boots walk, you were actually last technically standing on the water most often. In this case, he was last standing on the corner of a wall, which was not over water, so he could still continue his boots clip into the wall.
Mm-hmm. And maybe a little known fact, outside of randomizer, in the vanilla version of the game, if you water walk and you get hit, you actually instantly die.
Yeah, which is no matter how much health you have. And also, even if you have a fairy in a bottle, it'll still send you to the save and quit screen. You won't revive over water, which is a huge pain point for me. But yeah, that was done as a, to prevent soft lock situations.
So we have Krelbel setting up a Harapot here. This is going to be an interesting, just quick get up and kill Moldorm.
Nice. So decides to flip the star switch to drop down right at the big chest. With the boots and hookshot, you could also just decide to hookshot the big chest and then dash back, drop down a little bit earlier.
Tama, you are sort of correct. So the vanilla game killed you, but then when they set up the randomizer, they fixed it so that a fairy could revive you on water, or it would just knock you back into the closest location, which would then soft lock you onto whatever tile you were last standing on if it's not a walkable area normally.
Yeah, it doesn't quite freeze the game. It just, if you're not on the same screen, it will. Yeah. It'll put you back in a place you're not supposed to be, which can lead to a block. In the vanilla game.
A fast Moldorm over on Krebel's side, followed by what's looking like a fast blind fight over on Walther's side.
Yeah, Krebel having a much easier time of that by having that hammer. You know, Walther could have avoided that by going Cac first, getting that hammer. He had a little bit of a trouble on that Moldorm fight, but, you know, he did get the advantage, I guess, of being able to activate Flute while he was in Cac the first time, which krelbel about to pick up. Probably.
Yeah, Krebel sees his sword upgrade. I'm sure he's going to go look for that right quick in a hurry. Now, I'm going to ask chat something. What do you think? Is it a good decision to go all the way through Spectacle Rock to get your sword upgrade, or a bad decision and maybe you get a sword upgrade somewhere else in the seed? I know both players did it, but I'm just kind of wondering for myself as well. What do you think? Is a Spectacle Rock sword upgrade worth?
Man, I think it's worth. Kippy in chat asking, is it avoidable if you save and quit instead of moving? Yeah, so if you are in the vanilla game and that happens and you are fake flippering or on the wrong screen, it tries to eject you back in the wrong screen, the wrong point. You can immediately save and quit before you move. Sometimes you can move as well and not get the lock, but there's no point in doing that generally. You can also flute away, I believe, yeah, as long as you're like in the light world or whatever, or can get there.
Oh, that is not a good place to throw a dead rock.
Oh, that was blocking the way of the Turtle Rock entrance?
Yep.
Yeah, that's all right. He's still got this other overworld stuff to check first in Light World. Oh, and I don't think, even with overworld glitches, he couldn't get into the Turtle Rock entrance anyway, right? No, could he?
Yeah, he can get not into normal Turtle Rock entrance, but there is a way to get over there with the current equipment that he is holding.
Yeah, not from where he was. He would have to come in from the Dark World, right?
That is a... I didn't count the amount of digs, but it definitely felt like 30, Malmo.
Yeah. Or I guess not. I guess it's just the... Okay, correct me. I mean, I know nothing. But it's just the black rock that needs Titan's Mitts is just how you get up the ladder on Turtle Rock. So all you really need is the hammer, and you could boots clip up top. Is that right?
Yes. If you had hammer, you could boots clip from the light world to get to the top of Turtle Rock, but then you would need the medallion to get through the front door.
Right, you need the medallion to get through the front door. Right, okay. So if you're actually trying to get in the dungeon, you have to come in a different way. But if you're just trying to go up to like Super Bunny Cave, Hookshot Cave, yeah, Super Mammal saying lots of on-the-fly learning from Walther. Yeah, I was listening to him and Chex practice a little bit some of these setups, so I don't know that Walther has had a ton of time to practice these. But it's cool to see. Like, you know, okay, cool. You can just learn this on the fly in the middle of a race. I mean, I think it's super empowering to see him learning as he plays.
Yeah, and it just goes to show, you know, what the level that we're looking for in this kind of tournament of our players is. You know, if you're ever thinking about doing a kind of, I would call it a more fun version of Link to the Past, because it is fun. You're doing all these like crazy glitches to get places that you didn't even think that you could get to, and to just run the game a little faster. In my opinion, anyways. Oh, and Walther is doing the big bomb to Fairy instead of going to do Aga Mirror. So
Yeah,
we'll have to see what this bomb is going to unlock. And speaking of the devil, there is the trying to clip into Turtle Rock to get to the top of it. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe we've seen what the medallion is here, have we?
Yeah, I don't think we've been here in the Dark World yet, on the east side of Dark Death Mountain.
And it's Bombos.
So now, is that another mirror bonk to get into Turtle Rock without the medallion? The front door, anyway?
There is a mirror wrap. It's not the front door that you go through. There's a mirror wrap for the middle, and there's a mirror wrap for Laser Bridge. There's also a regular clip into Laser Bridge, and a regular clip into middle.
Looked like that there was nothing there in Pyramid Fairy, so I guess good. I mean, I don't know, because that wasn't even like logically we need the mirror for that, since they had non-overworld glitch access to it.
And yet, Kirby is right. I misspoke. It's not a mirror wrap to get into middle. It's just a mirror clip. But you can still get into the middle with just boots. You can get to Laser Bridge with just boots.
Walter, I love this. Walking away before even seeing what it is. I just love it that you might go to Catfish and just be so convinced it's going to be garbage that you already start walking away from it. But you still go check it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so it looks like... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, it looks like Walther is going to be doing a ledge clip through the bottom of the screen here.
Ooh, in krelbel, looks like Dark Death Mountain Descent to Catfish, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yep, that's what that is. So krelbel's literally following Walther into this Catfish area. And Orange telling us that this is a pod teleport that we're about to see.
Oh, that's like the name of this clip?
Mm-hmm. And there it is, right over to pod.
Wow, looks like you have to be lined up pretty well on the x-axis, otherwise you might land like in the actual hedge.
Right. And it looks like krelbel's going to be following Walther into pod, so we're going to have a side-by-side race. Who will finish pod first? Walther's entering first, but will krelbel catch up to him?
Well, you know, krelbel's screen looks much more glitched out than Walter's does, so that makes him a winner in my book.
You're definitely right. The more glitched you can make the game, the more of a winner you are.
Yeah, and using those like early strats there and sprite selection on krelbel's side too.
All right, so are we going to go bow route? Nope, we're going key route. Oh, nope, we're still going bow route. Okay. Oh, I guess the frame lag from opening the door a second time. It's a little faster to go through the statue. That makes a little sense.
I think Walter just likes that spin off of that mini Helma. He just wants to show off.
So
Okay,
once
Walter.
again, silvers are going to make this really easy to get through.
Yeah, using those sequence broken arrows from Eastern Palace Big Key Chest. Got one key on the right side and... Oh, a lamp. Okay.
can't argue with a lamp. A permanent light source is definitely better than a fire rod.
Yeah, he's gonna make this dark maze a lot easier, if nothing else, or a lot faster, I should say. Yeah, well, and easier.
A quick little minor glitch there where you can bonk off the corner and get onto part of the bridge there that you normally shouldn't get onto.
I'm not even convinced that that's a minor glitch, even like if it's just a bit of tech or what. But
yeah, bonking over fall pits is definitely something that you're able to do normally. It's just a little weird to do it on that one. You have to kind of line up just right.
Because the game is like, this is, you're supposed to be, and you are, changing layers, but
Krelbel gets it on the second try, doing the same bonk to get onto this bridge. Walther opening up the front door. And we're going to go see what's in the back of pod. I'm really impressed by the key dashes. Have you seen these?
You mean like the one that Walter just did?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one's one of the easier ones to line up because you can just nudge against the rail on the south side, and then if you dash turn to the north, then you will always be lined up for the key dash. So for folks who don't know, the key dash just allows you to dash straight through the door without bonking against the key door, which you've probably seen people do. And if you don't know how that works, you've probably bonked a lot against the door. So how it works is you need to be what's the word for it? A divisible by 4 pixels from the door. Magically, basically every object in the game is some 4 pixel distance from everything else. So as long as you've nudged up against something, then you automatically will line up for key dashes. But there are a few key dashes where you can't do that. Notably in this dungeon, the key dash through the big key door into Helma's room, there isn't an object you can nudge against. Well, there is actually. When you go through the warp tile, you can see it on Walter's screen right now. You could nudge against that rail on the south or the north, but it would take more time to line that up than it would to just dash cancel before you hit the door. So in practice, you actually have to use pixel references to line up that key dash, which is harder. But most of them, you can just like nudge a chest, nudge a torch, nudge a pot.
And while you were describing that, we kind of missed the amazing bomb clip that Walther did to get to the big chest and do the maze backwards.
Oh, the hammer jump, yeah.
Yeah.
Good job, Walt. Yeah, I guess that this is just, especially without the mirror, it's a nice, efficient way to route. So that he's going from the left side to the Ruby Basement to the Harmless Hellway, and then he can just go straight from there to Helmasaur.
And it looks like Krelbel, I'm sorry, is not to be shown up here, is going to be trying to do the same hammer yump, or the bomb yump.
Yeah, it's interesting to me because, there's not as much potential time save here from doing the hammer jump for Krelbel. Maybe going to set up a death warp here? Maybe that's the thought. Oh, no, he's not damaging on that fire.
Excuse me. It may have been a thought that never crossed his mind that death warping back to the front would have been faster to get to the Helmador from here. I mean, it's probably 6 to 1, half a dozen the other when you think about it, but all right, let's see how friendly Helmasaur is going to be for Walther. Pretty friendly so far, no fireballs. Oh, there's a first fireball. Deletes it though by removing the mask.
Nice. Yeah, so I think overall that was Walter gained time in pod. So krelbel, I think that krelbel's execution in the overworld glitching and the like boots clipping like we've seen is super on point, and he has an advantage there over Walter. Walter might have a execution advantage in a traditional sense in just like, you know, movement and speed strats.
Yeah, this is really going to be anyone's game. I think we're going to have a really close race coming up towards the end here for both of our players. But it looks like we're still looking. We have a Quake Misery Mire, which we have Quake, which is good. We're looking to get into Ice Palace and finish it. And we're looking for Eastern Palace on krelbel's screen. And then it's just Ice and Misery Mire over on... Or, am I seeing that right? Ice and Misery Mire over on Walther's screen?
Yep. Yeah, so ice, what's needed is, so am I understanding correctly that he would either need a Titan's Mitts or the mirror in order to get into ice?
Titan's Mitts plus flippers, mirror, or flippers and just flippers.
Oh wait. So you can clip into ice with just flippers, no mirror?
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's a mirror wrap, and there's also a I would call it a longer boots clip to get into Ice Palace without the mirror. So we're still looking at perhaps having an AGA 1 logic forced by that mirror, depending on where we find flippers.
And Orange Kupo's question in chat about how long do you wait to go to GT makes me have to ask, can you get to GT before you get 7 crystals and overworld glitches?
Yeah, you can definitely get up there, and really the longest that you want to wait is when you can start clearing at least one side of it. So having Fire Rod, Hammer, Hookshot are the 3 items that you really need. It looks like Walther hasn't gotten Hookshot yet, but krelbel has, and krelbel's on Mountain, so that might be the play that he's doing right now, going into GT to look for those flippers, or to look for the mitts.
That that hookshot being on Desert Ledge. So, and you know, Desert being a pendant, but you know, there are a few items over in that area, including, well, Walter did he do checkerboard early? I think he did. I'm trying to remember if he did checkerboard and Nagina and maybe save and quit from there. So, yeah, that might be harder for him to get back to. Walter looking at the island here,
realizing that he didn't have glove 2 in order to get to Ice Palace.
Yeah, our tracker, I think this is our tracker, right? Yeah. A Tomel talk saying that Walter did do that early on, but never checked the ledge or dip desert. Yeah, so leaving that hookshot behind could be scary, but who knows? Maybe there's nothing in GT and krelbel spends a bunch of time there, whereas Walter will skip it because he doesn't have the hookshot. Walter can hover. I don't know that he would really want to go across Multum 2, but I know he's capable of it.
Yeah, so krelbel's now going into GT. Again, this is with everything that krelbel has. He's able to full clear this dungeon. There's the flippers.
Well, except for the Samaria locked stuff, which is the right side, right?
I'm trying to remember what Samaria locked.
Just that room he was in, the Hope room. You have to use the cane to open up that door.
Oh, yes. I was like, wait, where's Samaria actually required?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just 5 items, but yeah. Walter now about to get his Ice Rod, potentially, if he's going to do this clip. Oh, yeah, because krelbel really fast on the boots clipping, but still got hit by Azora here. I wonder if Walter is going to try for this. Yeah, he's skipping the 3 hundo.
Yeah.
He's just doing an Ancilla, whatever it's called, splash delete.
Yep. So this is another overworld glitch that you don't see as often as the ledge clip that krelbel used earlier, because this actually takes longer to do, and if you mess it up, it's bad news bears.
Well, it's a minor glitch, but I'm assuming by overworld glitch you mean like it's in logic in overworld glitches?
Right.
Ah, that's
Yeah, so because he didn't get the Insilla glitch off the waterfall there, now he's stuck in the water. He can't go anywhere. He has to save and quit and go back up to Zora to get that item.
He could have actually done the... Well, could he have... I think because he has boots, he could have dash turned and then still done the splash delete. It actually would have been easier from the waterfall ledge, but I've never done it, so this is me just theorizing.
Right, and again...
Oh, he ran out of bombs, says Super Mama World. Okay.
Yep, that'll do it. Again, why doing the corner boost or the corner clip is a little bit better than doing this version. But it looks like Walther may not be familiar or asking how to get up there without doing the splash deletion in solo. Or I don't know if he just wants to show it off.
I would imagine it's because him and Chex are having a conversation about whether or not it's practical for him to learn that on the fly, considering, you know, the fact
that yeah, that's true.
Zora shoot at you. But also, like, you know, unless he's planning on going to Turtle Rock, what's the point in grabbing it right now? Might as well save it till later. Maybe he'll get the flippers and he can just do it later.
Mm-hmm.
How many GT Smalls have been found?
I'm not sure, to be completely honest.
You could probably count. He's got one key now, and he's done just the left side without opening the middle door, obviously.
Right.
So I think that's... well, it's hard because you get keys not in chests.
Mm-hmm.
I always forget. That's why whenever I'm playing co-op, like key stuff, I always ask Walter.
All right, Ice Armos, what you got for us? We're looking for some area. Unfortunately, a whole lot of nothing.
And did we get the big key here?
That's another good question. If they did, they probably got it earlier. Going up to big chest, so I'm guessing yes, we've got the big key, and we're going to be opening this big key chest.
Yeah, the other reason is, and it looks like they did get the big key. Oh, book! But it could have also been because they don't have the mirror, so like it's faster than a death orb.
So it looks like Walther's having the same idea. Go up to GT, check what's up there. And it looks like krelbel is not thinking that right side has anything worthwhile. Still not having a red cane, though, so that could be a very dangerous play.
Yeah, it'll be interesting with Walt. I mean, I assume he's going to sequence break over to the left side, as krelbel did. It's going to take him a little bit longer because he's going to have to, like, either bomb jump or hover. But it's not as bad as sequence breaking the fire rod requirement for the right side, that's for sure.
krelbel got himself into a sticky situation on the second rat room there, mimic room.
Yeah, they do kind of look like rats, don't they? They look like those big rats from the Nutcracker. Okay, Walter now getting his flippers. So yeah, I mean, maybe feeling happy that he didn't just try to go straight back to Zora and do those glitches again. It's going to be faster for him this time. Oh no! krelbel, oh goodness, taking a lot of hits from cannonballs and down to 1 heart. If you do end up getting hit by a cannonball, just dash. No matter where you fell in from, you can always, 100% of the time, dash through with the iframes and get to the other side. And it's also fastest to do that. In fact, you know, intentionally falling in, taking damage, and then dashing through is like the second fastest way to get through that room, other than Gannonball Z, which takes like learning all the RNGs basically to be able to do. So that would mean like dashing pretty much right away. So that's the only thing that's actually faster than intentionally falling in and dashing through. So if you do try to walk through, dash through, whatever, get hit, fall in the pit, just dash immediately. It's the fastest thing.
Walther was showing off a couple of bonks, couple of bomb jumps to get across this area here inside of GT.
Oh yeah, I totally missed it because I was busy yapping.
Gets all the way over with just boots.
Yeah, I think that it's just Dark. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's just Dark Magician's room that's out of logic about the hookshot because of those bonks.
You might be right.
Oh, and then of course Rando room and all that, you know, because you have the Fire Snake room.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to see this bomb jump here. I mean, it's not like it's that hard because you can just use the spin tech to line up on the left side, but off screen the fire bars.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna do a bomb jump to get across this area.
There it is. Yeah, so Walter taking a little bit more time here in Ganon's Tower with these bomb jumps and stuff and bonking than you would with the hook shot. But overall, you know, I don't think it's probably about as significant as the time he gained in Pod in terms of the speed difference here. So I don't think it's going to make or break the race necessarily. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to come down to who finds Red Cane first. I think that's going to be really what happens. All right, first chest has nothing. Second chest has nothing.
Yeah, krelbel's still picking up that key. I don't think he needed that key. Yeah, he didn't need that key, but...
Right, you can skip one key because you are stealing the middle door. Unfortunately, today, GT does not have what we're looking for.
Could be post Moldorm chest.
Oh yeah, you're true. There's one more chest here, post Moldorm.
And... oh.
Butter Sword.
Dang.
So Samaria is somewhere else in the game.
Yeah, so we're not going to see the right side of Ganon's Tower ever. Yeah, it's interesting that Walt has 5 crystals. I thought krelbel had 4, but I guess he just has 3. Didn't he do Pod? Maybe he didn't finish Helma?
Good question.
Must have been distracted by Walter at the time.
So it looks like Walther did not want to try and get to Aghanim 2 with what he currently has. Still looking for that hook shot. Still looking for King of Samaria.
That's interesting to me. I mean, I gotta think that that's just because he doesn't want to hover over the Moldorm 2 gap. I mean, again, I know he can. Oh, but you know what it is? Oh, no, never mind. I was gonna say it's Validation Chest, but he can still kill Moldorm and then hover across. It's the Moldorm bounce that you would never get Validation Chest. But he's got to do that eventually to get in the Ganon pit, right? Unless there's an overworld glitch to skip that.
Right, yeah, you do have to eventually kill Aghanim 2 to get into the Ganon pit. That is the only logical way to get Ganon. And it looks like Walther's planning on doing a Death Warp at the end over here. Not sure what's at the bottom of Hera.
Yeah, both runners skipped this early on.
It's just a bottle.
Can you imagine if that was the Canis Moria? It was there like very early on.
And it looks like krelbel is going to be doing another teleport here.
Where could this one be to? Oh, is this just a fast way to get into Eastern?
That looks like a fast way to get into Eastern.
Wow. What a show off. Seems like this would be most valuable for saving time when you don't have the glove, because then you can go up that right side. But I guess if you're fast enough at it, it saves time even if you do have the glove.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the Eastern Palace area is not a short place to go through.
Okay, Walter doing the Dark Death Mountain, travel over here. He hasn't done Hookshot Cave or Super Bunny Cave, so this could just be for those items. Yeah, I don't think...
Well, he's only able to get the first item in Hookshot Cave unless he can hover.
Yeah.
The other items are not in logic without Hookshot.
I bet you he'll try to hover, but he'll give it one attempt. That's my guess. I'm making that guess. Everyone get your guesses in chats for how many attempts you think hover's going to do. 0 is the correct answer. Skips the double pump stairs, says Other Tom. There you go. You're just saving your wrist or your finger strength, I guess. But you're spending on boots clipping, so... Orange Koopo guessing that Walter might clip TR. So can he clip there from this side of Dark Death Mountain? Like where he's...
Yes, he can.
Set?
Yep. Oh. You can get into Laser Bridge or middle of Turtle Rock with just boots.
And is he going to do it? Oh, he's bonking back. It's at least one. If you didn't guess at least one, you lost. Hey, nobody guessed. What the heck? Okay, he did exactly one. Man, I'm good at this game.
You must play with Walther.
I do. Yeah, I do.
So it looks like Walther is going to do a spin speed clip to get into the middle of Turtle Rock.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, so if you activate spin speed and then hold down into that corner and then push right, it will clip you right over the ledge and onto the area where Walther is right now.
And then doing that minor glitch to clip through the rail to get over to this side of Turtle Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Which really just skips having to either hover or Samaria or hookshot over to the big chest. But he doesn't have those things. I mean, he could hover again, but we saw that he attempted a hover and hookshot cave and failed, so it's not super consistent for Walther.
Yeah, it's really hurting Walther that he didn't go to Desert Ledge to go grab that hookshot. And I don't know if I necessarily agree with that gamble, getting the Poke Key and then going to the middle. It is possible that the middle chest in that room could not be a key, and then you're basically locked out of progression of the front of Turtle Rock, and you have to then go through the front of Turtle Rock and get that medallion.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. That was risky. But he can't do the front right now anyway because he doesn't have the Cane of Samaria.
Correct. So that might be why he took that gamble, because you can't do the front without Cane.
And I guess it's possible logically that the Cane could have been there. And it expects you to get Bombos later to then get a small key in the front side.
Trying to set up a bomb jump to get to the other side where the big chest is and grab that big chest.
Oh wait, I guess it couldn't have been there. I don't know, it's complicated, because if the Cane was there... never mind, I don't think it could have been there. Because he could key lock himself.
If the key's going to be anywhere in Turtle Rock right now, it's either going to be on Laser Bridge, inside this big chest, and I think that's... Or the... not the Crystal Roller Room. It's the one with the Crystal Switch and the roller. Is that Crystal Roller Room?
Yeah.
Yep. Going towards the back of Turtle Rock.
And Walter going for a final attempt here before he gets to Death Heal. I don't think he needs to get that close to the pit. I think that you actually can be a little more distant with this bomb jump.
Yeah, the way I was taught to do this bomb jump is you look at Link's ear as you're facing backwards. As soon as you see his ear over the pit, you just place a bomb down, and then that should push you enough. There it is.
Yeah. And as Super Momo World's pointing out, you can't just hug the wall. You have to be a little bit further away from the wall.
Right.
which I think Walter was doing. But just for folks who might want to reproduce this bomb jump, it is definitely one to practice. It's not one of those you can just see and be like, oh yeah, it's like any other bomb jump. Because you have to take advantage of the rail clip, which is what makes it harder.
All right, Crystal Roller Room, no red cane.
And yeah, saving and quitting, because otherwise he'd have to hover across the dark TR room, which I don't think I've ever seen anybody even attempt.
Yeah, no, that's a little too much, I think, for anyone without like a turbo controller.
Yeah. So can he Overworld glitch into Laser Bridge right now too with the items he currently has?
Yes, he can.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So
Yeah,
that's 5 items, right? Because he hasn't gotten the Ice Rod yet. Never mind.
Yeah, so you don't want to go that way quite yet, especially as Turtle Rock is a pendant. So it might be worth checking Laser Bridge. And it looks like we're going to be setting up a mirrorless Ice Palace entrance over on Krebel's screen. So this is...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
This is just clipping into 2 ledges. You have to get to certain positions, and then you're going to be back on this screen. You're going to clip into these 2 ledges again. And then you're going to wrap around the screen again. And then again, with certain inputs, you'll see the screen wrap around, and he'll be kind of in a split screen between where Ice Palace actually is and another area of the Dark World that is a little hard to recognize.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Walter finally making that play to go pick up his hook shot. It makes sense now. He doesn't have too much more that he can really do at this point. But unfortunately, the hook shot doesn't actually unlock anything. We know. It doesn't unlock anything progressively. So it might just cause him to go back up Dark Death Mountain to go check the hook shot cave, which doesn't have anything in it.
It also could force him to go kill Aga too, because there are a couple of items over there that that puts into logic. And like I said, here's that kind of weird screen that Krebel's on. Looking to get into Ice Palace, and there it is.
That looks so much harder than the mirror wrap version.
It is a lot more steps than the mirror wrap version. It's definitely one to practice. The same thing with doing Laser Bridge mirrorless. There's a lot more steps to doing it than doing the mirror wrap version. So if you have the mirror, have access to the mirror, definitely recommend that version. It's a little bit easier than doing mirrorless. So we're still on an Ice Rod hunt. I'm sorry, not Ice Rod. We're on a Red Cane hunt. With only Misery Mire and Ice Palace left to clear for crystals. Turtle Rock, Laser Bridge, we have not seen what's over there. I believe the last item in Desert Palace is a dungeon item, so we don't need to worry about Desert Palace anymore.
Yeah, where's Walter going then? Oh, he's going to Keenan's cave? No? Oh,
I think he's trying to get the Bombos.
Oh, right, he got that book. Yeah, right. And no mirror, so this is how he has to do it.
Yep. A nice little fast skeleton room there.
It's a red item, but not the right one.
We're going to be doing an Ice Palace bomb jump over on Krebel's screen. This is a just a minor. I wouldn't even call it a minor glitch. It's more like tech.
Yeah, I don't think we count bomb jumps as glitches. Oh, okay. Walter came out of Tower of Hera, but did not check the ether tablet. Did he do that when I wasn't looking at some point?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't remember either of our runners looking at ether tablet. But it looks like Walther may be setting up to go to Laser Bridge now.
Aha.
Let's see if I'm right. Yep. Nope, it's a hookshot cave play, and then maybe Laser Bridge right after that.
Yeah, right. Thinking, okay, well, there was my progression, but it's not going to be here.
Yeah.
Oh, saving and quitting.
Yeah, so Walther might not be familiar with the method that I'm talking about where you can clip into Laser Bridge from where he was. Back on Death Mountain, so where are we going now? Maybe they go finish out, what do you call it? Go finish out GT?
Yeah, or maybe remembering the ether tablet. No, okay.
We're going to Dark World.
And meanwhile, I don't think krelbel's found anything of note in Ice Palace just yet.
And Toma is in chat telling us that, yes, Ether Tablet has been checked after Hera.
Ah, okay.
So whatever's on tablet, it's obviously not good. Or it was already gotten, and it is one of the items we're currently holding.
Yep, Aga 2 play. I mean, I guess there are 4 items up here. He has to do Aga eventually. He now has the hook shot. Let's go do it.
Mm-hmm. And this is the very rare full ice clear to go look for that red cane.
I just realized that Walter did Hookshot Cave, and then he save and quit to go do a different Overworld glitch to get to Gannis Tower. Could have just, like, dashed over here.
Yeah.
And also, I should mention, I know that this is a mentor learning tournament, but I like to tease Walter a little bit because we're buddies, so it's all in good fun.
Nice little hookshot clip to get over to the big chest. Gets rewarded with a small key.
Walter just going for the Ganon Ball Z, but he just, I think he just like dashed, hoping that it works. And I don't think that Walter actually knows the pixels, because I don't think that the way that he dashed would have been any of the setups. Now I'm just ragging on Walt.
So right now, Misery Mire French Vanilla Red Cane looks good. Swamp Palace looks good, but Swamp would be a would mean that Aga 1 is required.
I would not be surprised, honestly, at this point, if Walter did that very next, because, well, I guess both Krelbel and Walter, I mean, Krelbel's running out of stuff to do. I mean, I guess Krelbel could go up to Turtle Rock. Yeah, their choice right now, Krelbel's choice, Turtle Rock, do the stuff Walter's already done, and maybe Laser Bridge, or do Aghanim to get Demir to go to Swamp. Walter, on the other hand, may not even have the option to go to Ice, because may not want to or feel like it would be reasonable to learn that Ice Palace mirrorless trick. So I wouldn't be surprised if Walter goes, and because he's feeling a little bit behind. He got that hookshot he knows very late. That forced him to double dip GT, double dip hookshot cave. He might be more inclined to go do something like Aga into Swamp at this point.
Yeah, we'll have to see what decision Walther ends up doing. Looks like Krelbel's going back up the mountain, down to the cave to go into Graveyard. What's in here? I think this was just some money, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think Walter checked it. I can't remember.
Yep, it was just $20. Yeah, ice has been finished. No red cane has been found.
I think what's going to decide this race is whether or not Red Cane is on Laser Bridge and whether or not Krelbel actually goes up to Laser Bridge. Oh, this is interesting. Krelbel just did the Houlihan because he'd already set up the Death Mountain Descent just to get back to Link's house quicker than a save and quit. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, little things like that to make the game a little faster. Oh, and here we go with a 2 hour and 17 Uncle check. Gotta love it.
Yeah, this is, I wonder if this is just for the items in Hyrule Castle or if he's going to fully commit to Aghanim in Swamp Palace.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to find out. I'm sure he's going to full clear escape looking for the red cane before going down to Aga 1.
Yeah, although I would say that this has mean that Walter's possible margin for victory is closing rapidly, because I think personally, I think it's less likely that Walter is going to go to the laser bridge rather than do the Aghanim into Swamp House play. So that would mean Walter would be behind krelbel's footsteps, either picking up the cane here in Escape or in Swamp Palace.
Yeah, I gotta say, no matter what our players do, I mean, Qirn in Swamp Palace would be really disgusting, and I mean, Qirn on Laser Bridge would also be really disgusting.
Wrong Qirn there in the boomerang room. Or no, that's not the boomerang room. That's the map chest. Keyguard 1.
Walther trying to play trigonometry with Agatu to get as many hits as he can. Little phases.
Here you go. 2 more chests left. Keyguard 2. It's 20 rupees. I didn't see whether or not we've picked up the map here, but it's because krelbel's continuing on. Oh, you know, krelbel, 15 hearts, no mirror. I don't think he's going to go straight from here to Aga, because the Death Warp would take forever. So it's not like because he's here, he's going to go to Aga. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it could be that this does push him more into Turtle Rock, just because he doesn't have that mirror to easily get back to the front of the dungeon.
Right.
And yeah, killed the guards, so he doesn't have enough bombs to kill himself here.
Yep, save and quit. So are we going to redip? Oh, we're doing a check over on Walther's side. This might be a live trick here, or it might be one that he's familiar with, to go over to Hammer Pegs.
Ooh, krelbel, after all, going back. So he is going to do Aga into Swamp, after all.
Yep. And Walther jumping into the water. This is actually pretty easy once you know exactly what to do. Just swim into the water, clip into the water here, swim all the way across on the bottom of the moat. And you get to this transition, which pushes you into the rocks, and there it is.
Oh, that's cool.
That is Hammer Pegs. Too bad we don't have powder to also do Magic Bat at the same time, or we don't have Red Cane to also do a fake powder. And there is the mitts.
Well, mitts. Walter might be glad that he doesn't have to do the hard way to get into Ice Palace now.
Yep.
But sorry, what were you going to say about mitts?
Oh, I'm just finding it funny that mitts is behind mitts required.
So is that in logic, in Overworld Glitch logic? Oh, yes, it must be.
Yes, it is. It is. But the Smith, well, the Smith is not the Smith check that he's doing right now is also in logic with mitts. But there is a way to get this Smith with an Overworld Glitch, but it is not required to in logic to do it, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it seems like with Overworld Glitches, what is possible and what is in logic seems much more complicated to me than in the, minor glitch version that we play. Like that there's different variations, there's so many more differences between what's considered in logic and what's not.
And Orange coming in, definitely clarifying me here. Overworld Glitches, the mitts only puts Smith Chain and Flipperless Ice into logic. Yep, we're getting a Aga 1 play from krelbel. Let's see if it pays off. And we do have powder over on Walther's screen to go check the Magic Bat.
Oh man,
just some bombs.
This is not looking good for Walter. I just don't see a world in which he goes back to Laser Bridge rather than go to Swamp. Because he must feel very behind at this point.
Yeah, so this is going to come down to if Walther goes straight to Aga 1, then I think you're right. This is krelbel's game right now. Oh, doing a mushroom check while we're here, because why not?
Yeah. Yeah, surprised we didn't see that from krelbel with that flute. Oh, Kibi asking, Laser Bridge can't have the red cane though, right?
Oh, I guess that's true. I always thought that you could just boots clip into Laser Bridge, and I thought that was in logic.
Oh, all the methods of early Laser Bridge are considered out of logic apparently. So that means we know that Swamp Palace has to have Arcanus Mario. So yeah, I'd say that this is Krelbel's game.
Yep. Well, it's hard to say that this is Krelbel's game in the end, because anything can happen. You could hard lock, you could do some really silly things, but...
I guess that was an abbreviation for it's his game to lose. But, you know, I just did think of another scenario that could happen here. Arcanus Mario could be in Misery Mire.
And yeah, it could be a vanilla Misery Mire.
And if Walter feels that far behind, you know, he would know that Krelbel would be faced with the option of going to Misery Mire for one, maybe two items that might be Qirn, or to Swamp Palace, and he might decide to do the even riskier play of Mire before Swamp, just because he feels so far behind. So that's, I think, Walt's only hope at this point.
Now that would be hilarious if we had a French vanilla Mire, or even a vanilla Mire.
Yeah, and I'm guessing there's an overworld glitch to get to Misery Mire without the myths.
Yes, you can definitely. It's just, you do the same thing to get to you do the same thing you would do to get to desert, because desert and Mire share the same area. So if you can get to desert with boots clip, you can get to Mire with boots clip.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I think we even maybe saw that because they checked Mire shed. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we know what medallion it is because we've been to the area, we just haven't been inside of it.
It's such a hard decision to make because Swamp essentially represents 7 items with that green pendant.
Oh yeah, the green pendant is still in play, so that it could be on Sarashla himself.
Yeah, versus Mire, which is only 1 guaranteed, maybe 2 items. So it's such a hard choice to make for Walter, but that's the reason why he should do it, right? Like if he feels behind, which I think he would at this point, knowing he left that hook shot so far behind and doubled it to many things he didn't have to, didn't have access to Ice Palace earlier that his opponent would have because he could do the clip that Walter couldn't do, or maybe he didn't want to do, I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see what Walther ends up doing after clearing out Ice Palace. Looks like we're going to get Mirror over on Krelbel over on the Aga tree. Maybe? Going the long way? Oh, checking King's Tomb first.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Imagine doing Aga 1 only to find red Qirn here.
Oh my goodness, that would suck.
Fortunately for Krelbel, it's only $20. So, yep, we're going to go get that mirror and probably go dip Swamp over on Krelbel's screen. So this is going to turn into, will Walther follow Krelbel through Aga 1, or is Krelbel going to make the daring play to go right into Misery Mire?
I can't imagine that Krelbel does Castle Tower without going into Swamp. Oh, do you mean Walter make a daring play to go right into Misery Mire?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking, and I'm just remembering now, I thought for some reason Swamp Palace's green pendants, it's just 6 items there, but that actually improves the reasoning for Walter to go there because he actually has 2 to 3 items in that area if he does Landmo as well. But he doesn't have the mirror, so never mind. It's not like he can do it in one trip.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the sake of this being a closer race, of course, I'm rooting for Walter to go to Misery Mire, just for there to be a hope.
We shall definitely see as soon as Cold Stare hits the dust.
Krelbel taking the time to activate the flute, though.
That's an interesting play, because there's not a whole lot that you actually need to do with flute. I guess fluting into mire, so you don't have to deal with the glitchiness, but even then.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. Because I was gonna say maybe that means he's gonna go to mire after all, even though you picked up the mirror. But yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe he's just setting up for when he goes to mire after small.
Well, you can still back-to-back mire and swamp together. They're not hard to get to with boots clipping, so I don't know if it's just nerves and playing in the game right now. Looks like, yeah, Krebel's going down to the swamp area.
Yeah, I think it was just a little bit of optimization because he was at Lumberjack Tree. So why don't I activate the flute then? So when I'm finished with swamp, I can go straight to mire.
Orange
Okay,
asking,
Walter.
do we really need spooky that badly?
Yeah.
I mean, the more glitches, the better. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Where's Walter going? He's going to Sank. What does that mean? I have no idea. I actually don't know. Oh, Kingston.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
But then after Kingston, where are you going, Walt? Where are you going, Walt? I mean, it's hard because he's also, if he goes straight to mire, he's also skipping all of Escape and Uncle and, yikes. But I don't know. Come on. Oh, he's saving and quitting.
Santa save and quit while Krebel goes into swamp. Going to Mountain Cave. Are we going to see a laser bridge play?
But
we know from logic that it's not in laser bridge.
Yeah, but maybe him and Chex don't know that.
Yeah, see, I didn't even know that either. I thought that laser bridge would be possible. Doing a graveyard clip.
Could be Spike Cave too. I don't think he's done Spike Cave yet.
Unfortunately, didn't get that graveyard clip, so he's going to have to save and quit back up to the mountain to reset it up. Alright, I'm trying to pay attention to Krebel's screen here. We've checked the first item. We didn't have a whole lot. Get the key. In my experience, Swamp is known for holding items.
I mean, it is a lot of locations.
Alright, we're going to try and do this graveyard ledge clip again. Gets it this time. And we're on the graveyard, so I don't think Walther's been in here yet.
So you just somehow intuited that there was money here. Okay, he's gonna flute away. Is he going to mire? Is he gonna flute to Link's house? What's it gonna be, Walter? Oh, walking out somewhere.
Yeah, again, I think this is turning into race nerves. You're now an hour and 31 in. Most of the game has been checked. You feel like your opponent probably has checked most of the game as well.
Oh, did Walter never saw what was on Lumberjack? I think that's the situation. Uh-oh. This could, when you see his mirror, this could push him to do Castle Tower.
Mm-hmm. Or he could make the hard decision of, okay, do I go to Castle Tower or do I just abandon that mirror?
I think that the decision to abandon the mirror would require more thought than he has the time for right now. Yeah.
Yep, he's going to Link's house. He's going to Castle Tower. So if the Qirn is in Swamp, it is, again, anything can happen, but Krebel. Oh, there it is, Red Qirn. Yep, so barring anything extreme happening to Krebel, yeah, like you said, this is Krebel's game to lose.
Yeah, I think what I was trying to say is that the decision to abandon the mirror, like when you're in that situation, you see mirrors there, you now have to make a snap decision about where to go. And I think it would actually take a lot of thought to think about the fact I feel behind. My opponent is likely to be heading towards Swamp at this point, overdoing Mire. So I should actually go to Mire because I feel behind. And in that moment, you don't have time to think about that. You're like, oh my God, it's a mirror. Where does that get me? Oh my God, it gets me to Swamp Palace. Okay, well, that's kind of crazy and you never want to go there. So I'm going to go there now. But you don't have time to consider, but that's like literally the only place I can go to other than Mire. So like my opponent's going to be doing it. It's not actually an opportunity for me to save time because my opponent's doing the same thing. But wait a minute. Oh, wait, never mind. We got the game. I was like, krelbel's going to Mire instead of the Swamp, but I forgot we already got the game.
Yep.
Whoa, that was a roller coaster.
That was a roller coaster of emotions. Orange pointing out that this tournament has given us an AGA 1 required seed before giving us a Moon Pearl in the Dark World seed.
Yuck. Man, I just want to know what bunny glitches are in Logic and Overworld glitches.
Yeah, definitely a good thing to review for everyone. Go find what the areas you can check with bunny are, because you're going to need to know if the Moon Pearl ends up being in the Dark World.
Yeah, well, interesting thing about the game, even not in Overworld glitches, is it's possible to check every location in the game with just minor glitches, except for, without the Moon Pearl, except for Hookshot Cave and Turtle Rock. But with Overworld glitches, I imagine that at least Turtle Rock, if not also Hookshot Cave.
So I don't know the number of items with Overworld glitches, but I can tell you that in no logic, there are only 8 items in the game that you cannot collect. In no logic.
Without the Moon Pearl, you mean?
Without certain items. So,
oh, I see.
Yeah. So, for example, the Ledge Torch in Desert cannot be gotten without boots. You need the boots, which is a logical item.
Oh, okay. Orange Kupo informing us. Dungeon Bunny Revive, Mirror Clipping, and Mirror Super Bunny. Okay. Oh, right. But we already talked about how YBA with a blue bottle is out of logic anyway. So, of course, that Super Bunny would not be in logic. So, Super Bunny is not in logic, I guess, is the question. Well, I guess Mirror Super Bunny you said, but there's other forms. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure there are ways to get down the mountain in Super Bunny. It's just, like I said, not fun. It basically requires go from Death Mountain in Bunny form all the way to where Super Bunny Cave is, enable Super Bunny at Super Bunny Cave, and then now you have Boots access, so you're just going to Boots clip in Bunny form down the mountain.
I'm just sitting here trying to figure out if it can be in logic to finish the game without the Moon Pearl. Probably not, because I bet you Ganon is not in logic without the Moon Pearl, but I bet you...
Yes, correct.
There could be a
I believe the Moon Pearl is required to finish the game.
For logically. There are out of logic minor glitches you can do, but Skullwoods would definitely be so. Skullwoods, Swamp Palace, and Turtle Rock definitely not possible in logic.
Oh, you lose Super Bunny coming out of Super Bunny Cave. Good to know.
Yeah, but I guess I was curious about, is the Super Bunny Cave in logic and Overworld glitches?
Yes.
Walter 4 now has AGA 2 down. Or no, AGA 1 down, sorry. Oh, right, okay, right. This is Overworld glitches. So TR is possible in logic without Moon Pearl if you're able to mirror clip. Oh, and then you Dungeon Bunny Revival inside. Not in logic without mirror. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, citrus clipping is don't do citrus clipping. I do not recommend citrus or manual clips ever. Can they be done? Yes. Do you want to do them? No, you do not want to do them. So yeah, I'm not sure if Walther forgot, because I'm pretty sure he checked Lumberjack at the beginning. But again, I mean, I play seeds all the time, so I might just be having my own seed blur.
I think it was just krelbel, because if he had checked it and he thought he saw what was there, there's no reason that he would come back and double check it. You know, like he would have already just ignored it.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta imagine that it was just krelbel, and we didn't realize that Walter didn't have that info.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Orange Koopo telling me Moonpearl can be in Skullwood's Ice Palace or even Turtle Rock. Stop it. You are just ruining me there with that information. You flirt.
I mean, Swamp Palace makes sense because you can, if you have the mirror, you do the normal mirror, go into Swamp Palace as a bunny, Dungeon Bunny Revive, and that gives you Swamp Palace.
But you mean Skullwoods?
Or Skullwood, sorry.
Yeah. Swamp Palace you can do with minor glitches, although yeah, you have to do the 0 HP glitch, and I don't think that's going to be in logic in any mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, Skullwoods, you can even Dungeon Bunny Revive, quote unquote, with the Wallmaster. It's not actually Revive, but it's super easy in Skullwoods. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think how you would get into Turtle Rock as a bunny.
Very, very carefully.
Petition to rename the Moonpearl Elmer Fudd's item. Except instead of hunting for rabbits, you're hunting to not be a rabbit anymore. Oh yeah, I guess mirror clipping into the center of Turtle Rock. That makes sense. I keep thinking, what could you do? And the reason I'm having to keep thinking about it is because I'm looking at this seed particularly, where we had an AGA 1 locked mirror. So I kind of wonder, knowing that mirror was AGA 1 locked, does that mean that you know the Moonpearl is in Light World? And GG to Krebel. A 140 and some odd seconds. Again, another pretty mean seed for 140. I don't know if we're going to be doing interviews. We do have another race coming up literally right after this. We're going to be seeing some other of our runners coming up here in just a moment. So we may just be flipping right over to that. So bear with us as we get that set up. But if we do have an interview coming in, then we'll have an interview coming in.
Well, now going left to try to find the Qirn. Of course, we know is in the flooded room, but let's just show off a little bit of diver down here. Oh, but misses it.
So, Qirn, what did you get out of watching this race as someone who doesn't know the glitches as well?
I thought it was super cool. It was really cool to see the difference in the kind of execution that krelbel had versus Walter had. My mind is like racing now, trying to figure out the routing and the logic. But I was actually really surprised at how easy it was relatively to follow it. I mean, of course, I had the benefit of you here explaining things to me, but I did feel like I understood the routing enough to be able to anticipate where they might go next. So yeah, I mean, I feel like the Overworld Glitches seems, I don't know, intimidating to me because there's so much that I would have to learn to play it. But after commentating a race with your help, I feel like I could probably play it, you know, like with somebody telling me how to do the glitches. But I wouldn't be that overwhelmed anymore. So it's pretty cool.
That's good to hear. So it looks like we are asking Krelbel and Espeon if they would like to interview. So they may be joining us here in just a moment. All right, we are joined by Krelbel and Espeon. How are you two doing? How did you guys think the race went?
Stressful. Very stressful overall. Not only because the seed was fine. Mirror on Lumberjack, that's great. My computer was going nuts for basically the entirety of the stream. As you could probably see with the FPS just freaking out in the corner of my screen the whole time. It was just lagging terribly the whole time, and that was just super stressful. But
it honestly did not seem to affect you that much during your race. I honestly didn't see a whole lot of that on the restream. And like I said, your performance didn't seem like it was affected all that much. So it's a good thing that you were able to deal with that kind of a stress on top of racing stress.
Yeah,
on top of learning all the tricks in this game.
Yeah, there was a lot of move with one hand and frantically close. Like, okay, I have like the glitch like map cheat sheet or whatever. I have that open a Chrome browser. Nope, close that. Can't devote resources to that. Close Firefox. Just close as much as possible. Oh boy, but no. The only time that I think it really like actually like directly caused an error was when I tried doing the clip to Graveyard Ledge right at the start, and accidentally did the funny auto walk because I was on the wrong subpixel.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. Once I think once it got to a certain point, both Espeon and I agreed that it's time to make the gamble. It's time to go up Aga Tower, and boy, thank God it paid off.
Yeah, because if Red Cane happened to be French vanilla, that could have been a lot worse.
Yes.
Yeah, was that in the back of your mind at all as like an alternative to Swamp Palace?
Yep. And then especially after so we meant to check Hammerpeg Cave the first time when I went to Pyramid to check the or after GT checked the Pyramid Ledge item. Originally we planned on doing fake Dark World to Eastern, but like I like didn't plan that out correctly and didn't set up the Death Warp in GT for that. So what I wanted to do was check Hammerpeg Cave at that point, but forgot about that, and like I was on Eastern at that point, and so yeah, so I didn't check Hammerpeg Cave until after Aga 1, and then it had the mitts, and then at that point it's like, oh no, is it in Smith Chain or any of that? But we figured, okay, we're making the gamble on Aga. Gotta follow it through at this point. Gotta dive into Pendant Swamp, and then it paid off.
Right. I gotta say, Krelbel, I was really impressed with how fast you did a lot of that overall glitch tech, like boots clipping and stuff like that.
Well, thank you. I've been practicing it a lot. I've been having a lot of fun, both with the boots camp week. That was a lot of fun, and then I've been doing pretty much one of these seeds every day. And yeah, at first it took a lot longer, but I'm surprised. Like it kind of developed muscle memory for it pretty quickly. So they're pretty fun now. At first they were a nightmare, though. I remember the first couple days doing it. It's just like, how can I hit 2 buttons on the same frame? This is impossible.
And that clip into the ice rod on the Zora ledge, which we didn't end up needing, but that was super cool. Like, in seeing the pressure that you're under to get that. Like, I'm a person who doesn't know much at all about overworld glitches, so maybe I'm easily impressed. But it was super cool, and you got hit and you still recovered and got the glitch.
Yep, that was something I learned in Boots Camp that you can recover from that, and my recovery from that was quite a bit messier than it usually is, but it still worked out. And then, of course, the ice rod wasn't actually necessary, but yeah. The other challenge, kind of challenge in this race, was, kind of throughout. I was frantically trying to think, okay, what can I close on my computer to try to help this emulator lag go down. It's never been this bad. It's really, I've been playing this game since 2017, and this is the first time it's been this bad. And at one point we thought, okay, last resort, I'm gonna close my Discord stream.
Yeah, this is the last thing that we decided to close, is the Discord stream. So then I went over to Krelbel's Twitch stream, and we had like 5 seconds of delay on the Twitch stream. So it became fun.
Yeah, but fortunately, like Espeon and I, we did one mentored run yesterday. I think Espeon also mentored me on like 1 or 2 seeds.
Yeah, we've had some practice before this. Yeah. So it wound up being okay.
Yeah.
Oh, part of it is just kind of like when you do that, an important thing is the racer has to let the mentor know like what they're getting in certain places if it's important, and the mentor has to think of things a little bit before they see them on screen and give the advice before. So it changes the timing of some things, but it's altogether it's not too bad.
Yeah, it would have been much harder for Walter and Chex to do that though, because we could see that actually Walter and Chex were conferring like about pixel lineups for some of those clips. Walter now, speaking of, on the Ganon fight, it's gonna be pretty simple with Silvers and Buttersword, but yeah, let's see how he does here.
I have a quick question for you. Was there anything that you had to ask Espeon, like specifically, like, hey, show me how to do this, I've never done it before, or I'm not familiar enough with this trick, could you show me how to do it?
I think most of I don't think I did any new
no,
any technical one that I'd never done before.
I mean, we in the previous like practice seeds that we've done, we have done that, or I showed him how to do some things. And then in particular, there was one point where we were discussing that when we were like pretty early and like we hadn't gotten mitts or flippers or mirror yet. And there's like the only thing left for go mode is Qirn. And at that point, you might be thinking like, okay, how do you get into Ice Palace without any of those things? And the answer is like there's a kind of obscure-ish bottle glitch to get in. That's terrible. I shouldn't say that. There's a bottle wrap to get into Ice Palace. It's not super well known because the flipper wrap and the mirror wrap really dominate. But in this situation, this is like a very rare situation where you have none of those things to get into ice. Knowing that can be really helpful. So that was, I think, the only thing that we discussed possibly teaching during the race. But then we got flippers, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, I remember Espeon was excited he was telling me, okay, if we find Qirn, then I'm going to teach you a new glitch in the middle of the race. And I'm like, okay, I'll trust you on that one. And then, fortunately for me anyway, we found flippers before we found Qirn.
I mean, you don't want to go looking for flippers, do you?
Yeah. Wait, where were they? They were right in GT. Right?
GT.
Yeah. Yeah, GT key logic was fun as usual, but unfortunately I had the GT key logic master in my ear, crunching the numbers and.
Oh God, GT key logic. It's so bad. So the important thing is that Qirn could not be locked behind the book.
Right.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, hey, now joined by WaltherIV. Good game, Walter.
Yo, what's up?
Good game.
Good game, guys.
Yo, GG's. This was an interesting seed.
Yeah, that was definitely an interesting seed, and I think for clarification, had you known that mirror was behind tree earlier and just forgotten, and then went back to remember?
No, we didn't check it early on. But I think even if we did check it early on, would be, I don't know when we would have done it, because it's like a hard call to do AGA for mirror when you have like, I don't know, like all other crystals open. So I'm not sure when we would have done that. Maybe a little bit earlier potentially, but probably not too much earlier.
My thought, Walter, was we, in the booth here, Cinaeth and I had kind of forgotten didn't realize you hadn't checked the lumberjack. So we were theorizing that you might feel behind, and so you might go to dip Mire for Qirn and the green pen at Desert Palace, which is really your only hope, from our perspective at that point. But then because you didn't know the mirror was there, once you see it there, you don't have the time to like make that kind of consideration. You're just like, okay, I guess I'm going to swamp.
Yeah, Chex made a pretty good point of like all we got from Dark World was like flippers and mirror and like nothing else. So like they kind of incentivized swamp a little bit more. Plus when we saw that mirror, it was like the majority of all the items was in swamp that we have access to. It's like more than everything else combined.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because the hookshot didn't really lead anywhere. Oh, that's interesting.
And the myths were in Dark World too, but that didn't really give us any clues.
Yeah. Right. And a question I had too, because I'm somebody who's totally new to Overworld Glitches, was did you not want to do the Ice Palace entrance thing? The thing that would be required without mitts or flippers or mirror. Or without mitts or mirror. Yes, flippers.
No, not really. We just did like all the crystals that were in Logic to begin with.
Oh yeah,
and I don't know.
That was one of the things that
flippers were in Ganon's tower, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so there wasn't too much time to think about it because we got the flippers in Ganon's tower, and then as soon as Ganon's tower was done, we got the mitts.
Right.
Yeah, right.
We were supposed to get mitts, but then we forgot about it.
Yep. and then the stream delay. I was thinking, okay, we're going to Ice Palace because all that I have left after Ice Palace is Aga for Mirror, or like dipping Mire without Qirn, or dipping Pendant TR without Qirn. So Ice Palace first, and then I beelined for Ice Palace. And then because of the stream delay, I was like right on the front doorstep before Espeon reminded me, "Hey, you don't have mitts. You can't do this." So struck by the stream delay.
All right, so good game, both of you guys. Good game to our runners, WaltherIV and krelbel. To our mentors, Espeon and Chexhuman. To our restreamer, Kippy. To our tracker, I'm going to pronounce your name wrong, ToMalta13. And my fellow commentator, Qirn. Thank you, everyone, so much for hanging out with us. Is there anything else that you guys would like to say before we get ready for the very next race happening here literally in a few minutes?
Yeah, one last quick thing. Did you guys enjoy my my wonderful sprite today?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you make that, krelbel, or is that one of the new ones on the site?
No, that is there is a github.com/krelbel. There's a sprite shuffling script that can randomize different portions of the sprite. So this was a newly generated sprite for today's race that fortunately now with 3107 is now race legal. Like it's a .zspr file that you can just load into any race ROM on the website itself. You don't need any third-party utilities like to patch the ROM or any of that. Yeah, we got some fun poses for Link today.
Yeah, that was super cool. Oh yeah, good games, everybody.
Yeah, GG.
Yeah, GG's.
Thanks. It was a lot of fun.
All right, chat, hang out just a moment. We are going to switch things over and get it ready for the very next race, so please hold on.